What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of This Dope Cooking Show. Episode number 3 or 4. Either way, we getting these episodes up. All right, we getting to it. We getting to it. Happy New Year! If you just not joining me for the first time, hey, look, stop what you're doing. Go to YouTube, type in This Dope Cooking Show, no spaces. Go like, comment, subscribe, turn on the bell notification so that I know you watching every Tuesday at 5:30. Okay. So look, this is another episode. It's just me and you. We're gonna do some different stuff. So so my church is doing a Daniel fast, right? Little tidbit about me. I'm a preacher's kid. My dad's a pastor. My mom's Jesus' little sister. And like we grew up in the church. Like we didn't have a choice. We were one of those people that went to church all the time, especially when my dad first got called to his first pastoral position. We stayed at church. It was a church called St. John Baptist Church in Lovejoy, Illinois. More stories to come later, promise. More stories to come. So yeah, I mean, I grew up churchy. I'm still churchy. Like I'm real program Baptist, Southern Baptist, some stuff, CCM stuff. I'd be like, is this right or what? So I grew up in church and I am familiar with the Daniel fast. So I have the privilege this week. You guys are going to go with me and we are going to meal prep for one of my customers that is doing the Daniel fast. Now, this week we were experimenting with jackfruit. Hold on, let me get you one. Jackfruit. Never used it a day in my life. Never seen it until yesterday when I went to Sprouts to get it, and it was $3.59 a can. So yeah, jackfruit. But it has the consistency of like shredded chicken, but it's got a tang to it. But when you put it with stuff that's supposed to have meat on it, it tastes good. Hey, we all experimenting. We all getting to doing what we're doing. So all of the meals that I make have jackfruit in place of the meat. So we did a Philly cheesesteak, but this was all mushroom. So it was a mushroom, portobello mushrooms, peppers and onions with cheese. And the cheese that I used was vegan cheese. Also got that at Sprouts. Also was like $7. I hope it tastes good. But anyway, so we did a vegan shepherd's pie. And then we did I don't know. We'll figure it out. I forgot. So anyway, yeah. So back to me. Coming up, we used to participate in a thing called the Bible Bowl. Now, this required me to read a lot of scripture, read a lot of Bible. And we had to study stuff, like knowing the books of the Bible without looking for them. And then they would ask us to do stuff like go to a certain scripture in the book, but we couldn't open it and go to the table of contents. So it used to look like this. We would have to stand in front of like deacons, trustees, pastors, and everything, and we would have to hold the book like the Bible like this. And they would say, find John 3:16. And we have to go. And the first one that got it had to read it. You would have to get there first, read it, and it had to be the right scripture. And they would time you. So like 30, 45 seconds. All I'm gonna say is I don't need a table of contents. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't need a table of contents. I don't need it. That's all I'm gonna say. All right. So look, we're gonna get busy. We're gonna get to it. We'll get to these recipes. So I'm gonna go off camera, but you'll hear my voice, and we're gonna walk through some of this stuff that we meal prep. Let's get to it, guys. So we always want to make sure that we start by rinsing off all of our fruits, giving them a good wash. With this jackfruit, we rinsed it and said I was told to make sure that you rinse it a few times to get the brine off of it. Really getting there really good. Also, of course, you always want to wash your potatoes. Those are from the earth, and even though they've been processed, they still have dirt, residue. Sometimes you get a little mud on it. So you want to make sure that you get that stuff really good and washed, and then if you have to, wash it once, and then let it sit and then wash it again. Same thing with the um, onions and celery. You want to make sure you rinse all that stuff off. Um, my onions, I had already washed them off, had already let them sit, so they were already clean. Um, for this first recipe, I just cut the potatoes in half. I wasn't sure how I wanted it to look. I wanted it to be hearty, but I wasn't sure how I wanted to cut the potatoes. So you can always go half. That'll always be good, and that'll fill up some space. I knew that I had to make a few meals off of this particular recipe, so I wanted to kind of stretch a little bit. But here, we cut the potatoes in half and get those ready to go into our jack stew. I pulled out my fancy chopper right here. I got this chopper off of Amazon. I think it was $19 and it might have, or $23, but it has a small and a large dice blade to it. You can also use it as a mandolin, but be careful, those blades are sharp. It has several different fittings for it, right? And you can just get to it. I'm trying to incorporate more of using tools versus doing it all myself by hand. I love chopping and I love cutting things by hand, but as I get older, I do need to make sure that I am able to still continue to provide great stuff, great food, but not wear myself out. I have been cooking for a long time and I have been hand chopping everything that I cut up ever since the beginning. So I'm just trying to learn how to utilize some of my tools, some of those things that are out there in the industry to help make the job easier. So if you want the link to this, go to my YouTube, This Dope Cooking Show, no spaces. Like, comment, subscribe, and then go down in the comments and say, hey, give me the link to this chopper you got on this episode. Okay, so we got everything mixed in, everything into our crock pot. Funny story about that crock pot. I've had it forever, and it just takes a licking and keeps on ticking. Do you hear me? I have a pressure cooker that is brand new, and compared to this crock pot, it makes it look like this crock pot makes it look like it just just got started. So the seasoning that I use at the end. Sorry about that picture. The seasoning that I used at the end was Italian seasoning. I used that to go ahead and incorporate all of the flavors with this jackfruit stew. So guys, the first recipe was our jackfruit stew. Um, that was the first time I ever done anything like that. That was the first time that I ever tried anything remotely vegan based. Look at that, I got old gray hair. Um, Not really, but like taking it from the can, rinsing it, and then making sure that you got all the brine off of it. So you want to make sure you give it a good rinse, like 2 or 3 times. And then I had my crock pot heating up because I kind of like my crock pot to be warm by the time I get started. So I already had my crock pot heating up, and I put everything in, and then I just like set it and forget it. You know what I mean? Because I was new to it and I wasn't really sure. I followed Tabitha Brown's recipe. So the jackfruit pot roast that she did, that's the same recipe that I follow for this. So our next recipe is a kebab. It has um, yellow squash, zucchini squash, red onions, red bell pepper, green bell pepper, and mushroom. And so I purchased those already kebabs, so to speak. It was a no brainer. It was already on a skewer. It was already packaged, ready to go. So what I did with that was I brushed it with some avocado oil and I put it in my air fryer and I used the French fry setting. That French fry setting could be a multi-purpose use in your air fryer. I mean, I do shrimp with it. I do French fries. I've done these kebabs. I've done chicken nuggets with it. Like the air fryer is just unmatched, right? And so with this, I put these two of these kebabs in the air fryer, and I brushed it with some avocado oil, right? And I let it cook on the French fry setting, and so it came out with a nice grilled consistency. And then at the end, I put it over a bed of white rice and drizzled some teriyaki sauce on it. I forgot to get a picture and some video of that one because it was so quick. I just did it, and I'm still working on this, guys. I'm still new to all of this, and it takes me a minute. I'll be forgetting stuff all the time, but bear with me. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get the footage like we're supposed to get the footage, and everything gonna be all right. But this was a vegetable kebab, grilled vegetable kebab on a bed of white rice with teriyaki sauce. And look at that, I found a picture. I thought I didn't take one. So here in this bowl, we have mushroom, garlic, shredded carrots, celery, and onion for our vegan jackfruit shepherd's pie. So, and then I also took the jackfruit and chopped it up fairly small. Wasn't I didn't want too big of a chunks in shepherd's pie, so I took time to kind of cut that down.
heat good or something. They're not microwavable.
Okay, so that was we did a vegan shepherd's pie, right? And keeping it along the lines with the Daniel fast, you cannot have anything in your mashed potatoes that is dairy based. So no heavy cream, no sour cream, no butter. Whoo! But here's the trick. You can use nutritional yeast and that'll give you kind of a cheesy flavor, right? So experiment with your seasonings, experiment with those things so that way you could get as close to what you're used to as possible. So in this dish, we had carrot, celery, onions, mushroom, and jackfruit. And I cut the jackfruit down. I diced it up as you saw in the picture, in the video. And I cooked that with some vegetable oil. And then I added vegetable broth. Then I added a cup of flour to thicken it up. Laid that in a container and then spread those mashed potatoes on the top. Woo! And then I hit it with the herb seasoning that I have. I got it from Sam's. It's I'm gonna have to find it for you, but it is a herb garden seasoning full of green. So it adds a lot of color, a lot of pop to the dish. And I wanted it to kind of look appealing, even though it's, it's just mashed potatoes, right? But you got to make it look good to the eye. People eat with their eyes first, and then they finish it, and then they eat with their mouth. But you want to at least draw attention to it. So I think we nailed it with the herb garden seasoning on the top because it looks really appealing. So yeah, that was the vegan shepherd's pie. Now the last time I did the vegan shepherd's pie, I did it with the Beyond Meat. I guess it was like a hamburger patty, but I ground it up to make it like ground meat. So I added carrot, celery, onions to that, and I added vegetable broth, thickened it up with flour, and it was amazing. But unlike this recipe, I was able to add, I used vegan butter last time. So this time I was kind of trying to be real strict, real close as possible to the Daniel fast. Guys, so this is the cheese that I use. And it was $7. Oh my God. So being vegan is a little bit expensive at times. Like I said, I paid $3.59 per can for the jackfruit, and that bag of cheese, which is a regular sized bag of cheese, was $7.39 or something at Sprouts. Y'all, don't that look just like beef stew or pot roast? Look at that. Okay, so that was our mushroom Philly. Philly cheesesteak with, in place of the meat, we use portobello mushrooms and we use jackfruit. No bread. The only bread you can really have on a Daniel fast is unleavened bread. And it's not the best tasting thing. So that's how we wrapped up this segment of This Dope Cooking Show. Now, for me, these are all new recipes. This is all new stuff. So you guys were along for the ride for this one. as we tried, and we took some regular stuff and added our own flair to it, and we added our own thing with incorporating the jackfruit. This was awesome. I had a good time doing this, and so if you guys want me to do more, okay. So let's have a confessional. I'm really not the vegan guy, right? I'm not. My brother, his name is Cameron Hubbard. Classic Michael on Instagram. He is the vegan guru. He is the non-chef, now over never, the non-chef. He ain't no chef, but he be cooking. And when I tell you, his food looks so good. It looks so amazing, but he's vegan and a vegetarian. He gets it in. I'm talking about, go over to Instagram and watch some of his stuff that he has. I'm gonna post a link to his not a link. I'm gonna post his Instagram. I'm gonna tag it because he's got some stuff, and then he'll be doing it. He'll be like, and we gonna mix it on up. My brother is dope. I love him. Shout out to Classic Michael, man. The now over never. It's about to blow up. I'm telling you, it's finna be a straight move. But he is the guy. He is the vegan guy. He's the vegetarian guy. He knows all the stuff. He's on it. He's on it. This is not my wheelhouse. But I'm just trying to offer a little help for people that are doing the Daniel fast. That is like the top thing. Every first of the year, it's the New Year's resolution. It's the Daniel fast, and then you have Veganuary, where we don't do no meat, right? So this is kind of common, and I've followed it for a while. I've done it, but I've not done it like to the T. So this time I'm giving it a shot. Think about me. When I say I'm a fast, I have every intention on doing it right and doing it the right way. But before you know it, I got a cheeseburger in my mouth, and I'll be like, oh man, I messed up. So you're not human. I mean, you're not superhuman. You're not God, and if you really are trying to do the fast, the Veganuary, you got to start off small. You got to take your time. Don't beat yourself up because you ate a cheese. Now, my pastor got on live this morning and said he ate some shrimp yesterday. I am so grateful for his transparency because people be acting like they just don't be messing up, and it's a struggle to just switch it off, and you have to do the work. You have to find things that aren't that don't have meat in them. You have to find places that you can go and order a vegan dish. There's a place here in Texas called It's So Vegan. They have the best vegan nachos I have ever had in my life. And the cheese is made out of cashews. You talking about amazing. Oh, it's good. Matter of fact, what time is it? I might try to go over and get me some of them. Nah, that's all right. I'm just playing. So look, guys, thank you again for joining me on another episode of This Dope Cooking Show. We did it kind of different this time. I'm editing and putting in pieces as I go. Because it was a little short. I'm working on it, y'all. This is my first ever show by myself, editing by myself, doing my own thing, and I'm creating a lane on the BS3 network that has never been created before. So I'm trying different things each week with this editing and this videoing and all of that. So I'm gonna get it down, and it's gonna be flawless in a minute. But for right now, y'all stick with me, work with me, ride with me. Cause we're gonna get this thing done. It's gonna be dope. That's why it's called This Dope Cooking Show. Hello? So look, tune in, tag a friend, tell them to come in and watch the show. Y'all like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. Y'all go over to the BS3 network and check out some of the shows that those guys have going on. There is some amazing content on that channel. And some guy, Ben Sutter III, is doing an amazing thing by giving people the opportunity to kind of just get into their niche and just give out content to the people. The guy, it's so much stuff on that network that you can just tune in and just check it out. If you get on there, go to last night's show, The Forecast, where they reviewed the Cat Williams YouTube special on Club Shay Shay or whatever it is with what is his name? I can't think of his name now. But anyway, on Club Shay Shay. Now I'm gonna just say my piece on it. Half of it's true, half of it may not be. But for everything that y'all think ain't true, somebody done already been fact checked it and looked it up. So hey, you know, Cat Williams probably on to something. That ain't my wheelhouse to get into. I'm talking about food. I'm staying in my lane. I ain't finna hit no blink or nothing. I'm gonna stay where I'm at. So yeah, y'all check out the forecast. They did a recap on that show. What in the world? Okay, hold on. I don't know. Okay, all right. So look, I'm on this other computer and I don't know whose phone is ringing, but it ain't mine. So anyway, look, next Tuesday, 5:30. Tune in, tell a friend, tag them, tell them, hey, look, Chef Jeff's got a cooking show, and it's called This Dope Cooking Show. And it's on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, the BS3 Network, the Roku channel. Just, hey, look, y'all come check me out, man. Thank you. Shout out to the network. Shout out to me. Shout out to me. Shout out to the BS3 Network, Roku. Shout out to my best friend, King Doc. Doc put me on, and I will never forget that. Shout out to Doc, man. Appreciate you, brother. Y'all, hey, see y'all next week, man. I'm done.